one of the things I love about Texas music is how the young musicians out there collaborate and make music with their heroes, some of the old folks, like me. When you talk to artists about this scene, there's one name that comes up when you mention influences. He's our Texas legend this week, the one and only Willie Nelson.
Willie Nelson, the king, to me. Done every kind of music in every way, and he's fearless and an amazing songwriter and an inspiration.
Willie Nelson, man, I see Willie as the godfather of Texas music. He's the king of it. He didn't always get the credit I think that he deserves for a lot of the Texas music scene, and how he helps everybody out is just awesome.
Willie Nelson to me is just, he's like our uncle, everybody's uncle, and it's more than that because there's a certain delivery that he's able to have that nobody else can do. It's a silence and a softness to it that grabs you right where you live.
I was actually named after Willie Nelson. My dad, I always say, depending on how many beers he's had, he'll say I was named after Willie Nelson or Willie Mays. And I was actually just listening to Honeysuckle Rose this morning. I picked it up on vinyl on our last road trip.
You hear the Willie Nelson family. It really is like that. It's really cool. Like, I got to meet Paul, the drummer, and he's been with Willie for 44 years. And that's incredible. That's just awesome.
And he made Shotgun Willie. That record was just early 70s, just spaced out, kind of just crazy. It's just like it wasn't definable. And that's always been my goal, is for somebody to say to someone else, like, man, have you heard Charlie Robinson? It's just like, well, what does he sound like? And it's like, well, I really couldn't tell you.
I think everybody in the 70s was issued Willie and Family Live. I think it just came like in the mail or something. Because it seems like everybody we knew, even the people who weren't really into country music, had that record lying around.
But the moment I think I got it and it really killed me was on one of those Waylon and Willie albums. It's Not Supposed to Be That Way. On that album, something about that when I was 16 years old, 17. When you don't know what rips your guts out yet, because you never really had them ripped out yet. And I remember hearing that and it ripping my guts out and just thinking.
Well, when you think of Texas music, also, you got to think of Willie Nelson. And Willie was one of those guys that he cared about writing the best song he could, and that came across. That here was this guy who was just, incredible charisma, but he had written these songs that were just like, man, just sad.
It's really neat to be playing your guitar in front of a dance hall packed full of people, and then you look down at where you're singing and realize that Willie once played on this very stage for 6 or 7 years back in the day.
Still doing 200 shows a year, 77 years old. He's the coolest man alive.
He's speaking for all the people, everybody's guy. And that's what people love about him. That's what I love about him the most.
Coming up on the Texas music scene, we'll keep this whole acoustic thing going with a performance from Radney Foster.